Hi, everyone. My name is Snigdha, and I had the pleasure of mentoring a truly remarkable student this semester, Wonah C, who is a seventh grader at Castilleja School. This was my first time mentoring with Magic, and I truly couldn't have asked for a more creative and enthusiastic mentee. Wonah's project brought together her love for chickens and her curiosity for technology to create a website which sort of documents her, backyard chicken raising journey. In fact, she went above and beyond by building a chat GPT powered chatbot and then also an interactive quiz, which again has like AI backing to it. So, which is really cool. A little bit about Wonah. She was born in South Korea and she now lives in Menlo Park. She loves reading, writing, playing with her cat, and her two little chicks. And a little fun fact, she can do a very good imitation of a dog's bark. So proud of her. And I'm thrilled to introduce you all to Wonah. Wonah, go ahead.
Yeah. Um, as Snigdha mentioned, I'm Wonah C, and I'm a seventh grader at Castilleja Middle School. So first, a little bit about my mentor. Snigdha is a software engineer at Big Cat Biosciences. She has a master's in computational biology and a bachelor's degree in computer science. While she was born in India, she now lives in Berkeley after moving from San Francisco. She enjoys reading, watching movies, singing, and dancing. Like one example of a book is Angels from fun fact about her is that she never goes to the same restaurant twice, or she strives to never go to the same restaurant twice, and she has a dog named Cookie from a rescue center. I love it. So there are a few topics and technologies that I learned throughout my process. First of it is GitHub. It's a platform for developers like me to develop code and share it with other people. So in my case, I shared it with my mentor Snigdha to be able to collaborate on the same. One thing that you have to be careful about is not to share any private information. For example, in my case, I used API keys to get my chatbot and my video. For the main logic, I used JavaScript. Specifically, I learned more about methods and variables. And for the visual, I used HTML. And although I had used HTML before, something that I got more experience on was using HTML with JavaScript. For the style and aesthetics, I used CSS, which is short for Cascading Style Sheets, and I used that for not only the styles but also animations and response, which is a CSS language that lets you position specific objects on some page. I also learned about implementing past knowledge, for example, avian knowledge. I researched about and I also knew again about HTML and CSS. I also combined, well, I believe almost everybody has been on a website before, and so just visual like this. So this is actually a pretty magical experience. Some of the highlights was learning more about tab making, which you'll see later in this nice slide. There is, I'll have a demonstration. And organizing code, so it's easier to read and easier to go back on and change their environment. Also, I bonded and learned from my mentors. And some things that I learned, and I'll expand on this later, is the purpose and usage of API keys. So for me, I created an account and generated my API keys on OpenAI. And in order to not, for me to put the API key into the code, however, be able to put the code into GitHub, which would not allow any user or any to put API keys onto GitHub. I configured Git ignore file so that the API key would not be uploaded into GitHub. For JavaScript, I learned about variables, let const. Some challenges were working on the backend frontend surface of OpenAI for the many logic website. Putting the logic and keeping sensitive information secure. Yes. So this, when it first when I first open my page, which is posted from which you will first see a few pictures to set the tone, as well as a paragraph for users to make this page. At the bottom here are some basic chicken information, for example, weights and some common illnesses. So paragraph might infestation. One fact, the chickens Latin name is Caus domesticus. So at the top there are some green tabs, and this is the next tab, which is my timeline. So here are some milestones. For example, on February 18th, 2025, Magics, who I named in Cloud, have hatched at their June farms, the hatchery that I used. Later on, there are more milestones, for example, chicks arriving. Pictures. There are blue jays. And at the very end, this is a work in progress. I'll add the draw. Coop building and integration. So I built the coop with the help of. Next is the contact us page. If you have any specific questions for me, then the user will be able to fill out a form and put their name, email, and message. If they don't complete it, they'll get a notification telling them to complete it. And it will be sent to my mailbox. So I used an example of mail. Hopefully nobody's email is high. And a message. After you click submit, you get a notification that says your message has been sent. I had a little bit of trouble with this because using the right JavaScript library to host my email was a little bit of a hassle. So I used a library called PHP and a few other libraries. But at the end, I landed on email.js. Email has been sent. And so the name that I submitted on the form has been set, and the message is also sent. So, and I think the reply. It says, "Hi, I do not just email that set down." So next up is the famous chicken GPT. So you gave it instructions for it to focus on information relating to chickens, as well as so I gave it specific instructions. So an example prompt that I gave it is, my chicks are sick, what do I do? And you can either click the send button or you can press enter or return. And this allows the code to go back to the OpenAI server and come back with a response. So I'm sorry to hear that your chicks are not feeling well. And it goes on to tell you a few highlights, suggestions on what to do. For example, observe symptoms, isolate affected chicks. So I believe that this will be used by the user to submit specific questions about themselves. Next up is a game. This is to test your poultry knowledge. So after you have learned sufficiently from my website, you can pick a topic: health, breed, skincare. If you click generate questions, then the question will start doing. This is also a point where I had a trouble creating the questions and making it generate the right questions. So this is 5 questions. This is the first question. Which chicken breed is known for its ability to produce high? When you get it right, it lights up green. If you get it wrong, however, here it lights up red. And the score stays the same. If you get it right, score of this assessment. So please for one to do. And after you're done, you get a notification that says this one is finished. Final score is 3. The maximum score you can get is 5, and the minimum is 0. So that is the demo on our website. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Wonah. That was great. That was a lot in a short time. That was amazing. I don't think I could even do that. So we're going to open up to questions. Does anyone have questions for Wonah?
Does Chicken GPT remember the names of your chickens?
I actually have never told it. I just asked it like, will chicks get along well with cats? So I should try that.
I have a question for Wonah. This is Smriti. Wonderful job in so many different aspects of the website, and wonderful way to kind of share your passion with everyone. I was wondering why, what was your inspiration for including AI, and how did you think about how you wanted to include it in the website?
Well, here's a small example that might give you a better understanding. I first started with a manually typed quiz with just 5 static questions that would never change how many times we did. And I kind of wanted to make it fun, like spruce it up. Like it's not very fun when you do the 5 questions over and over. And so that applies for the whole website. Like, and I wanted to try something new. Like AI is relatively new, and so I wanted to try.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think it's a really, really cool application. Wonderful job.
Any other questions for Wonah?
It's a bring here. I have a question. Yes, you did a lot, and so many features in this website you created. What was your favorite part of everything that you learned? New languages, organizing the code, and all. What was the thing that got you more excited about?
This is our question. That I liked about this website. Part of it was learning in bitch JavaScript. Part of it was using a little bit of my creative skills to think beyond maybe what you and think chicken.
I have a question. I'm a little curious what your dog's bark sounds like now after your introduction, and I'm wondering if you're working on chicken impressions. Yes.
I feel like chicken impressions would be a little bit hard for me because they their clucks would be very funny, odd, should I say? So, at least dogs are. I promised dog because I really wanted a dog. Well, I have. Maybe I'm.
All right.
I have a comment and a question. This is phenomenal for a 7th grader to have so many things together. Just like the 6th graders, it's phenomenal for the 6th graders also there, the 6th kids. But could you take what you did with chicken and translate it into say dog? You could have a dog GPT, for example. There's nothing about, I wanted to comment on the fact, is there anything about chicken that's best, that you specified in your program that you have?
Well, visually, the aesthetics of the website was special about chickens.
other than your passion?
Yeah. Most of these things were based on chickens, like the time was when we did it. I believe that if I wanted to change into another like animal, like say dog, then I would have to change like the first of all like the instructions and I would have to change the instructions to go with the tap spot and this custom generated, and I would have to change like the visual, and I would and I would need to change like the names of my. So.
Good job, thank you.